everybody, welcome to Lido Fine Art. My name's Emily. I am the fine art medium, and if you're new, welcome. If you've been here before, yo, what's up? Anyway, there are two things I would like to mention before we crack into this video. One, I am going to be doing a giveaway once we hit 1,111 subscribers. And what am I giving away, you ask? I will be giving away this first edition copy of The Exorcist, signed by Linda Blair. Alright? And I will pretty much put all of the subs in a jumbler thing, and it'll pick out some random person, and whoever that person is, I'm going to pay for shipping and everything to send you this book. And so you'll have your own copy of the first edition version of The Exorcist, signed by Linda Blair. Second thing, I have a Patreon. And if you would like to show your support, you can do that by becoming a patron. And, you know, the basic tier is only $1. I thought about doing the monthly membership stuff for YouTube, but I was like, $4.99? Fuck, I ain't gonna even get half of that. So I might as well be able to have more freedom with what I post, and I thought I would be able to give more to everyone else if I, you know, made a Patreon and then put all my work on there. So I have all of my artwork, so you can get signed downloads of all the wallpapers that I make. Videos before it comes out, you'll have first access before the people on YouTube. Any updates to my novels or comics that I like to make, you'll pretty much have access to everything before everybody else. There are going to be Patreon exclusive posts that will not be found anywhere else, such as Instagram or YouTube. I know I post a lot of my artwork on Instagram, but most of the time I don't ever really post like the finished final version of it. I will be doing that on Patreon though, and you'll have the, you know, option to download it if you want for yourself, for like, you know, like your computer wallpaper and whatnot. Also, there are other tiers like monthly tarot card readings, monthly merch, monthly postcards, art gift boxes. There's a bunch of shit. So if you feel like supporting me, come join me on Patreon. It's going to be a party. I think I already got 4 so far. So let's keep it rolling. And another thing I like to add on Patreon, I will be putting polls down on like what videos you want me to make. So you'll have like a direct influence on the videos that I make. And I will also be starting something new, and I mentioned it, I think, in the last 2 videos, that you guys, I will be giving you the option to write in your stories, and I will turn them into case studies, so you can do this anonymously or not if you don't want to, and I can either interview you via video and post it on YouTube, or, like the other case studies that I've done in the past, I'll read it out, and we will turn that shit into learning material, and I can even help you if it's a current haunting situation. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Today's video, we are going to be talking about 20 ways that you may be attracting demons, or 20 things that can attract demons, or things that demons are attracted to. However you want to spin it. So yeah. First one. If you are a light worker, light warrior, medium, or anyone who's like awakened, right? So one, they don't want people spreading the truth, okay? They want people to be fighting each other. They like the turmoil and like the combativeness of society, because it produces more negative energy, which is something they feed on. But also, we have a higher vibration, and we produce a bright light. It's like drawing a moth to the flame. That kind of scenario. So that is one way. Number 2 is the opposite. If you are a negative person. Negative Nellies out there. You guys got negative vibrations and you got lower vibrations going on. And when you are of that stature, you tend to produce more negative energy and emotions, which is something they feed on. Number 3 is drug, alcohol, or whatever substance abuse. Alright? So, if you have one of those things going on, what happens is you are lowering your defense mechanisms, both, well, physically, mentally, and spiritually, which makes it easier for you to get attacked in more ways than one. And then it also keeps your vibration low. And again, they like that. Number 4, depression and anxiety. Now, a lot of people can't control that. And that isn't to say that everyone that has depression or anxiety is going to attract demons. Like, not everybody will. Some people will, some people won't. But if you are suffering from any type of mental illness, if you're suffering from any type of mental illness, you are, at a higher risk than someone who isn't, because again, your defenses are down. There is a chink in your armor. So that it makes it easier for them to be able to attach to you, and then lower vibration, and then they like that, and yeah. So, number 5, which is probably the most obvious one. If you perform black or any kind of dark magic or rituals. Alright, so with that, obviously, you attract which you are for the most part. So, like I said before, like negative people, you're going to attract negative things, whether that's negative people and or negative entities. It's the law of attraction for the most part, and that goes with the whole dark magic thing. So if you're, playing with people's lives and you're doing it for like negative intentions, well, that karma's going to come right back at you. And usually in the form of a demon. And that's not something you really want to fuck with, trust me. Now, let me point out, Wicca and there's witchcraft that is not evil or dark or black in any way. And that's not the same as what I'm talking about. So do not get this confused with, like Wicca, witchcraft, because they don't, the things that they do, now it depends on what they're doing though, too. So if they're performing rituals or spells or anything that is intended to hurt or manipulate somebody or do something to somebody in a negative way, then that karma will come back onto them. And again, that could be in the form of a demon, so it is possible, but I'm saying that not all witchcraft and Wicca is evil. So you could have white magic and, white spells with witchcraft, and you'll be fine. It depends, okay? It depends. I'm not going to bullshit you like some Catholic or Christian priest and be like, oh, all witchcraft is evil. Technically, back when they were doing the whole y'all must convert thing back in whatever centuries ago, pretty much anybody who didn't want to convert was considered a witch. And so their version of what is considered a witch is just somebody who goes against their beliefs. And guess what? There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different religions outside of, the whole Christianity and Catholicism crap, okay? And technically, if we went with their terms, those thousands of religions that were not did not agree with them would be considered witchcraft. So it all depends on how you spin it, right? But also with a lot has to do with your intentions and what you are planning to do with that magic. So if you're planning to do good and you're planning to spread love and light, right? You're fine. Now, if you're doing dark magic or rituals for some kind of like egotistical, I don't know, material, hurtful, whatever, then that karma is going to come back onto you. And that's the same thing with white magic. So if you're doing good and whatnot, the karma will come back on you. So like attracts like with the law of attraction too. You also have to take that into account. So whatever you're doing, remember that usually it'll come back on you. And when it comes to like black magic, yeah, the karma that comes back onto you is not fucking good. So yeah. Number 6, that kind of goes with number 5. So dark rituals or any kind of rituals that are intended to hurt or manipulate people against their will, that kind of stuff. Again, remember, whatever you do, remember that the karma is going to come back on you. So if you don't want whatever you're doing to a different somebody else to come back on you, then you probably shouldn't do it. All right. Number 7, dabbling into the occult. Now, this again goes with 5 and 6, but this is more like playing with Ouija boards, demon tarot, regular tarot, and pendulums. You gotta watch with pendulums because they're very similar to Ouija boards, because you can pick up something in the surrounding area that isn't what you think. So you gotta watch with the pendulums. I would say it is very possible to attract demons with pendulums. Tarot, like regular tarot cards, I know a lot of priests and stuff will be like, it's evil. But in my experience, tarot, regular tarot, you're using the universe as a conduit to give you messages, right? And the difference between that and demon tarot is that the demons on the tarot card, if you're thinking about them and, whatnot, you can attract them. And so when you have the demon tarot, if you're asking for guidance from a demon, well, yeah, you're going to attract the demon because you're pretty much saying, hey, I need your help. Can you come here? Yeah. All right. Number 8. And I'm going to combine this with 9 as well. Death and murder, right? So if there has been a lot of death in one place, or, a lot of people have been murdered, things that may cause earthbound spirits, or just that it kind of puts like a black spot in the area. And by black spot, I mean like a negative imprint. And that stuff typically, attracts demons. So like, let's say you have a massacre in a town. Well, because of the negative residual energy, there's a likelihood of, well, A, you're going to have earthbound spirits. But B, you're going to also have demonic entities. And a lot of demonic entities like to take advantage of earthbound spirits, which is horrible. But also they like that residual energy. Like, it's a good habitat for them, I guess. Number 10 and 11. So demon worship is number 10. And then you have, for number 11, Satanists, Luciferians, etc., So those ones specifically worship a certain demon. And then demon worshippers, those ones are considered demon worshippers. But it could also just be demon worshippers who worship any demon. So yeah. Number 12, exorcists, priests, nuns, anybody who is trying to spread, love, light, peace, are more likely, and they kind of go up with the first category too, with like light workers and stuff. If their, objective is to do good, demons are going to try to ruin it. Negative entities are going to try to ruin it. But also, they like to fuck around with them because it's kind of like a joke to them, because there's an irony that they just think is funny. So, like, here's one. A priest that likes to, well, it's not a secret that a lot of priests, let's just say child abuse. Yeah. Demons will influence them to do that on purpose. And it's kind of like a joke to them. They think it's hilarious. When it's not, obviously, I don't think it's hilarious. It's horrible. So they'll do things like that. 13, just reading and learning about them. Now, from experience, and I'll even include watching movies and stuff sometimes. Now, it depends on the movie or book or whatever I'm doing anyway, for myself personally. So, I know people that cannot read through an entire Ed in the Rain Warren book, right? They usually get attacked consistently. If they're reading about a certain demon, boom, it shows up. Now, for me, I pretty much went through their entire series in a few weeks, and I was fine. But I'm a different person. So, it's different for everybody. Demonology, learning about demonology, so that counts as reading them. Yeah, that kind of goes up there with the whole light warrior and light worker. So demonologists are trying to learn about them to stop them. Usually, I'm sure there are some that are, demonolatrists, or demonologists that are demonolatrists. And that goes with demon worship, which we already talked about. And so, learning about them, they know when you're thinking about them. And so, if you're thinking about them, you are more likely to draw them to you. So for me, while reading isn't an issue, but I will say this. There is one book that I had a problem with. And I didn't even get to, I hadn't even read it yet. It was one of Melinda's books. I want to say it's her second book. Yeah, her second book. And I got it in the mail, and I thought about reading it that same day. And boom, had an astral attack. And so, even touching things related, even if you didn't even read it yet, they know you're going to read it. They know what you're going to do. They know your future. They can read you like a book. Pun indefinitely intended. So they know what's going to, they know what you're going to do and what your intent is with that information. So if you're a demonologist or an up-and-coming demonologist, right, and your goal is to learn about this stuff so you can save other people from demonic hauntings, kind of like Ed and Lorraine Warren did, right? He was a demonologist, and his goal was to help people with demonic hauntings. So if your goal is that, you're going to be attacked. And you don't even have to go to those places yet. You can be brand spanking new, but if they know what you're going to do with that information, they're going to attack you. It sucks, but it's true. It also, like, the priest and exorcist, like the exorcist, right? Because I think he was also an exorcist. They knew what his goal was and his mission, so they did everything they could to stop it. And if you didn't know, Ed had suffered a heart attack, and he had heart problems, which I know during one of his investigations, one of the demons, and I want to say it's the one with Arnie Johnson. It's that demon that possessed him, that gave him the first heart situation where he had to go to the hospital, and then ever since then it just went downhill. It was that demon, I'm pretty sure, that fucked him bad. So yes, you always got to be aware of the risks too of what you're doing. So yes, I'm explaining like the 20 things that could attract, you know, the demons and stuff, but you also have to know, like, when they are there, what can they do, because they can wreak some serious harm. All right, next one. Oh wait, I forgot to mention too, watching shows and documentaries and stuff, I might just include that in 13 as learning about them. So for me, my experience, I watched a documentary on the Amityville house haunting thing, and holy shit, you guys, that wrecked me. I had a nasty attack. It was nasty. And then the new Conjuring movie, even though that one was not a documentary, because it was based off a real demon, which is the same one that really screwed up Ed's health, that one really messed me up too, like with the attack. It was horrible. I didn't meditate for a month or two. Felt like maybe like 3. It was horrible. So yeah, they can attack you even when you're watching things about them, because they know you're learning about them. Alright, there we go. Number 14, accursed objects. So anything that's cursed, obviously. You also have haunted dolls. Like a certain doll we're not going to mention. Well, there's many. One that is in the confines of the Occult Museum that was owned by Ed and Lorraine Warren. That one. That is a Raggedy Ann doll, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to say it. There's many, to be honest. You have demon or demonic themed, Satanist themed, like memorabilia. So like upside down crosses. And then now I'm going to include 15 and 16 with this. So like demon aesthetic, or like, I don't want to say gothic, because not necessarily is it demon related, but I have seen them in gothic stores. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So the whole like dark, broody aesthetic, where you have like 666 on your t-shirt, you have a Ouija board on your t-shirt, very like, it's a specific type of person. And you guys, I'm sure, know what I'm talking about. Like, a good example, and I'm not trying to bash this store because this is my favorite fucking store, right? Hot Topic, right? I love Hot Topic. Like, buying stuff from that store doesn't necessarily mean you'll attract demons. I'm not saying that at all. However, what I am saying is there are some things, because of the aesthetic that they are trying to sell, that they contain items and clothes that may attract demons. So like some of their clothing designs, like if you have 666, you got Baphomet on there, some kind of like dark ritual situation going on. It's possible to attract them that way, but I feel like that in of itself might not be like, boom, it's not like, okay, I just bought this t-shirt that has a Ouija board on it, now I'm gonna have a demon attachment. That's not quite how it works. It kind of is more like they may pay more attention to you, not so much as attached to you or anything. So like, even listening to like that kind of music, because you are in a certain aesthetic, and we're going to bring a little bit of psychology into this. So like, typically when you have dark colors, certain imagery, it plays with your mind a bit and can actually subconsciously make your mood go down, right? So black, if you're somewhere in a dark room and you're in the dark all the time and I don't know, you have black walls and stuff, you tend to go in with the mood association too. And so you are more likely to bring your vibration down. But like, it's, if you are aware of your state of mind though, to where you don't do that with like the aesthetic and stuff, you are at a better, you know, you're less likely, but again, because they see that you support the imagery and stuff, they may believe that, oh, okay, we might be able to manipulate you. Like, you are more of a possible candidate to, you know, become their victim. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm not saying, like, if you're emo or goth or whatever you, I don't even know if that's politically correct anymore. I know back in the 90s and early 2000s, that's what everyone called it. So, like, that certain aesthetic, and then people kind of, like, the emo thing, well, the whole emotional thing and the whole doom and gloom thing, yeah, like, that has your vibration usually at a lower level because, I mean, that's the aesthetic you're into, and so you try to, like, match it, or even if you don't try to match it, because of, like, the color psychology and everything that's, you know, all the factors that are in there, it can, you know, put you down there even if that is not your intention. And again, with like the memorabilia and like decorations, so like upside down crosses, I don't know, if you have a statue of Baphomet, you know, they see that as kind of almost like worship, but it's like you acknowledge, and I don't know, they like that you are paying attention to them, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm kind of bad at explaining some things. I'm sorry. What's the other one? Alright, number 17. Demonic or demon sigils. So like drawing them out. It's kind of like a mini ritual. It's kind of like a summoning thing. You could summon them or link them. There are some Satanists, some demon worshippers who tattoo themselves. That's bad. Don't be tattooing sigils, like demonic sigils on yourself. Do not, because that provides them a link to you. And that's pretty much almost saying that, okay, you're theirs. It's branding yourself. And that isn't to say, like, tattoos are evil. You can get fucking tattoos. I got a few. But sigils, specifically, will definitely attract demons. And 9 out of 10 times, you're going to have a demonic attachment with the demon you have sigiled on your arm. So, yeah. Next, the one, number 18, crimes, criminal activity or behavior. Yeah, they like that negative energy. They like when people are suffering. So if you are causing things that are causing other people to suffer or hurt or be tormented, yeah, they like that. And a lot of times they can influence people to do those things. So like rape, molestation, assault, those things can attract demons because they live for that stuff. That's what they do in hell. They torture people. They love that. And then on the flip side, if you are a victim of one of those crimes that I just mentioned, there is a chance that, unfortunately, you could become a victim of a demonic attachment or just attract them, because usually those kinds of people, not all, but many, they do suffer some sort of mental illness as a result, which is horrible, but it is just what happens. So like depression, PTSD, any kind of mental illness or physical illness that, you know, lowers your guard or your protection, your spiritual guard, yeah, that unfortunately can attract them, because they're like, okay, easy target, which is horrible. Number 20, porn. Believe it or not, you can attract incubus and succubus if you are watching that stuff. And to be honest, there's really nothing good about it. Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna get hate for that, but it's true. There's nothing positive about it, and it's kind of very negative, which again lowers your vibration. I'm just looking back at my notes to make sure I got everything. I think I did. Oh, I forgot to mention, like, with the murder and death and, well, haunted places, what am I missing? I think I've covered everything that I wanted to. Yes. Alright. So, those are the 20 things that may attract demons. So yeah. I hope this answered your guys' questions. I know I had quite a few people asking me this on Instagram. So hopefully this helps and answers your questions. One thing I just remembered, I had somebody ask me if they bought something from a known Satanist, like if it's like a piece of artwork or whatever, items from people who practice, you know, demon worship or, you know, Satanism, Satanism, black magic, all that stuff. The problem is those items, so more than likely, like I've already stated, they already got some demonic attachments, or they have them around them, so they've already attracted those demons. But the problem is, let's say you have a Satanist that owns a store that is selling their stuff, right? Especially if it's coming out of their area, like let's say they're selling an art piece that they painted. Well, the demonic entities that they worship can attach to those items, unfortunately, and then the person that is receiving the item, even if they, let's say, out of the 20 things I mentioned, they aren't doing any of that stuff. They are exempt, like they don't fall in any of those categories, right? Well, if that Satanist or demon worshiper or whomever with the dark magic that already has demonic attachments or demon entities with them, well, when they give somebody something of, you know, that was theirs, that entity can latch onto that item, and then now the person who is receiving that item is fucked. And I know there are a lot of philosophical Satanists out there, and I'm sorry, I can't with those people, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it, but whether they intend to attract those entities or not, a lot of the philosophical ones don't believe in it, so it's not their intention to attract it because they don't believe in that shit, right? But the problem is, it's fucking real. Like, why would I sit here for half an hour making this video if this shit wasn't real? Okay? It's real whether they like it or not, and then that person that they're giving their thing to with the demon attached to it, now the demon is going to bother them and haunt them, and they'll become the demon's victim. Okay? That's a fucking problem. And I'm tired of people, and I'm not going to mention names, but there's a specific person that, I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. There's no point of wasting the energy anyway. And so when you have people like that, and they're like, haha, here's my artwork, or here's my thing. Well, now they just gave that innocent person a demon, okay? And then now they gotta suffer the consequences. Even if they didn't even know they were buying it from a Satanist. It's, I get so mad. It's kind of like, no, I'm not going to make that comparison. That's bad. Alright, anyway, I'm going to stop talking. But yeah, those were the 21 things, I guess, that may attract demons into your life. And as long as you are paying attention and you keep with your mental state and your thoughts and stuff, you can probably help yourself and, you know, keep all that stuff away. Sometimes it's impossible to just, and then it just happens, and sometimes there is nothing you can do. Okay, number 22. Wrong place, wrong time. It just happens. Sometimes there's just no reason, and it can just happen. Anyone, it can be a victim, whether you're Christian, Catholic, atheist, whatever. Anyone can be a victim, and they're not racist. They don't give a fuck what color you are. They don't care what religion you practice. They don't give a shit about anything, and if you're a good candidate for them, they're gonna go for you. So, okay, I'm done. I'm done this time. Alright, yeah. If you guys have any thoughts, questions, concerns, leave them down below. I'm curious to know what you have to say. If I didn't say something that you know of, add it in. Because, you know what? I'm still learning. I know everyone else is still learning. And you know what? We can all grow together. So, why don't we just do that? So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.